Hi, all you paranormal curious people out there in YouTube land. It's Michelle from Our World of Wonders, and I am going to be doing a new series of videos about the paranormal. I'm here on this blustery, cold, drizzly day because a couple of days ago I had a fire lit under my bottom. And that's a really important thing for me because about a year ago, in August, 2 weeks after my 60th birthday, I had a congestive heart failure incident. It was very bad. The doctor had told me that if I hadn't gotten to the hospital when I did, within 15 minutes to a half hour, I would have crossed over. Very plain and simple. I had one of the worst cases that you can have without crossing over. So as you can see, I'm medicated, and a lot of people have told me over the years I should be medicated. Well, now I'm medicated out the wazoo. I am working on getting better, I'm working on getting stronger, I'm working on getting healthier. But with that said, I've gone through some, feeling sorry for myself, and when I finally was feeling better and I thought I'll go do this, of course, my body was like, no, I don't think we're going to let you. So it's time. It's been over a year. I wanted to start doing videos sometime this year. It is December. It's time to get up and do something. I've wanted to do it for a long time, mainly because the paranormal books that I've been working on, I get through several chapters and then I stop and then I decide that I don't want to present it that way. And I've been doing this for well over 10 years, but the paranormal book has been in the works for like 30 years. So how do I do this knowing that I have a limited amount of time where I can share my experiences? So video is the way to go, and I was watching a video the other day. I actually wrote the name of it down because I knew I would get down here and forget. The House with Real Paranormal Activity, House in Between, by Absolute Documentaries. It's on YouTube. It's actually well put together and well documented. But like most things paranormal, as an investigator, I'm watching, and it's like, okay, have you done this? Oh, there, they just did that. Oh, are you going to be doing this? Oh, they did that. So they had a very scientific way of, in the beginning of the video, of addressing all of this very haunted house. It's in Mississippi, I believe. So they had a really good way of starting out the investigation, and I was like really excited to watch the documentary. And as it went on, I'm like, oh, and then it went on a little more, and it's like, oh no. And on this paper, I've written down quite a number of points that I was quite upset about. I'll just open it up. There we go. Just jotted down a few notes. Not many, just a few. And I know that I've been wanting to do videos and not quite sure where to start. And, it's been over 2 years. Charlotte and I can't get out to do our World of Wonders right now. I mean, everything's shut down. You can't, go out and do things with your friends anymore. And I've been sitting around getting a little, depressed. And then when I think I can, like, oh, today I feel great, let's go and do something. And then I try, and of course my body says, no, we're not going to let you. So now's the time. It's been a year. I'm starting to feel better. I need to get out and start talking paranormal again. And this series is going to be a little bit more like lessons on the paranormal, what to look for, what my opinions are. I'm going to take you through my history. A lot of people on paranormal sites have, said point blank, like, who are you to tell me about this? Like, what kind of experience do you have? And very snarky, especially when I disagree with something or I point out that a picture they shared isn't paranormal, and I list a ton of explanations, and they're all like, why are you attacking me? And it's like, no, I'm not attacking you. I'm telling you what to look for so that the next time you see something, you can analyze it for yourself. And that's a big thing for me about teaching people how to recognize what they're looking for, how to go about things. And yes, a lot of my statements that I have learned over the past 60 years through direct experience contradicts a lot of what is said out there. And this is my chance to explain, these are my experiences, this is what I learned, and I'm going to cover a lot of topics. It's not just going to be ghosts and paranormal. It's going to be cryptozoology, which is things like Bigfoot and elementals like fairies and Bigfoot. I said Bigfoot already, but I like Bigfoot. And a lot of other various things that are all covered under the paranormal elemental topic. And observations that I've made. This video sort of pushed a lot of my buttons about how investigations are done, why people do investigations, how people self-sabotage investigations, all of those things. So if you're curious about going out and doing your own investigations, there's information there. If you need to know about protection, and yes, I talk about drawing down the light all the time, to the point where people say, that's all you ever tell people. Well, it is one of the most important things that you can learn. I cannot stress that enough. I have several videos under our World of Wonders heading. And it's the only way to protect yourself. It's the only way to raise your vibrations to a point where if you're afraid, this is what you need to do. And I explain how it works, and I will do it again in this series of videos because I classify them as separate from the other videos that I've done, because those videos were done in direct answer to someone. So they weren't professionally done. They were, well, none of my videos are going to be professionally done, but they were just done off cuff, just turn on the camera and start talking. Nothing was planned. Just a quick explanation so that these people that were really scared and terrified could understand what I was talking about. A lot of what I talk about is completely different than what you've heard before, different views altogether, because I have experienced so much. And don't forget UFOs. Yeah, I hate to say it, but, there's going to be a lot of talk. I've had experiences. I don't normally talk about them. I haven't for years and years and years. And I will touch on that subject as well. So if people have questions, I hope you'll send them in. Right now, these are just going to be me talking to you, talking about experiences I had when I was young, why I was so scared when I was young, what I was going through, how I had to learn on my own for for 40 years. I didn't really get into the guts of how to understand this until I had a lot of science background and various religious backgrounds, and I grabbed every piece of research information that I could, because there was no internet. There were no books. There were no people to just, call up on the phone and say, hey, I had this happen to me, what's going on? None of that existed. So I'm going to tell you the information that I wish I had from when I was a very little kid in the 1960s, going at this alone. It's a horrible feeling. You're scared all the time, especially at night. And some of the things I'm going to tell you about the paranormal has nothing to do with nighttime. Nighttime is when we are more fearful because, it's dark, it's a little scarier. Books and movies are geared at night to scare you even more. That's why they use very dark settings and loud sounds to make it even more frightening. So we'll talk about daytime stuff because personally, Charlotte and I have had more paranormal experiences and captures on film, video, and EMF machines and voice recorders during the day instead of at night. And it's a really important topic to talk about and what's going on or what we believe to be going on. And one of the greatest tools that you can have when it comes to the paranormal is you take in all the information and in your head you make your own theories. Everybody does. Everybody that you talk to will have different experiences and believe different things, and will have teachers that they've had that have told them different things than what I'm going to tell you. But the key tool is being able to have an experience that's different, or listen to someone who's telling you something different and try to fit that into your file of decks in the back of your head, because at some point that fact that you maybe didn't agree with or you didn't understand may become a key component to opening up what's going on with you later on in the future down the road, which is what's happened to me. Shadow people is a perfect example. I've seen shadow people all my life. I've known people that have been absolutely horrified by shadow people, mostly people from England. And I have some fantastic stories. But when it came time when I was seeing them again, like not all that many years ago, something dawned on me that had never dawned on me before. And it was a random picture that I'd already done videos about. And I noticed something I hadn't before. And it clicked. And it was all that back information that I had that was sitting in the back of my head that didn't quite make any sense to me. And my scientific brain said, you don't have all the information yet. There's some little piece, the last piece of the puzzle that makes you have that aha moment. And it changed everything for me. So that's why when I talk about shadow people, people think I'm nuts. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. But then when I explain it, they're like, oh. And you look at the subject in a completely different way. So I hope that I reach just one scared person who feels alone and doesn't know what to do. And I can give them a different perspective on what's happening to them, and it will change their life. That's all I wanted when I was a scared little kid, locked in the dark in my bedroom at night, and was having stuff happen. And with my mother's mental challenges, she could not deal with any of it. And her best way was to shut the light off in my bedroom and close the door and lock me in with it. So when I say it's been with me my whole life, it has. But I know the reason that everything happened was so that I could share it and help others. That's what these videos are going to be about. I hope that you will like the videos. If you get anything from them, please subscribe and hit that like button. Even it costs you nothing to hit the like button. And, that will be so helpful. And the more likes we have, the more people will pay attention and say, hey, maybe she's onto something. So it's really cold. It's really drizzly. I'm going to start walking back up to my place. This is a nice little glen that I come down to that's within a block or so of my house. So that's kind of cool. I've gotten a lot of orb pictures down here. I've gotten a foggy dragon a couple of times down here, which was amazing. Was it a dragon? Was it not? Elementals are funny that way. They use what's around us Some people will disagree with me and say, no, it's just fog or mist, which is interesting because with the naked eye there was no mist, but with the camera there was. So there's a lot of interesting things that happen, and a lot of it is perspective and how you see the world. So hopefully we can get together soon. My next video is going to be about this video. Hopefully we can spend some time together, learn some things, and if you have questions, please ask them. Ask. And if we get enough people interested, maybe we can do some live chats where you can text me questions and I can answer you right there on the spot. And if I don't know, I will figure it out and get back to you, because it's a really important subject, especially right now when the government is coming out and admitting, yeah, UFOs are real. We can't explain this. They're doing stuff that is physically impossible in our dimension, but yet there it is. They're doing it. So it's a very interesting time where science and metaphysical and all of those things are coming together. And really, that's what the 2012 Aztec Mayan calendar, whatever it was all about. It was about the shift. It wasn't about the end of the world. It was about shifting from one era, let's say, and moving into a higher vibrational era, and hopefully better times for all of us. So bye for now. I will be working on the other video, probably mostly inside from my desk because, winter. So bye for now, and hope to see you soon.